Hey everyone, happy Monday. Today we are going to be starting a new chapter, chapter 6, matrix operation, well, just matrices in general. Today we're starting with a section that's actually not technically in chapter 6 in your book. It's 06, so it's at the front of your book. And we're just going to introduce what a matrix is and then talk about adding and subtracting. And today is May 11th. So first thing we're going to do is define a matrix. A matrix is a rectangular array can't spell rectangle apparently. Rectangular array of variables or constants. We'll be working with both. In horizontal rows and vertical columns. Usually enclosed in brackets. Each value in the matrix, actually, maybe I'll show you one first. So, a matrix is usually named using an uppercase letter. So let's call this matrix A. And then we're going to have a bracket. We're going to do 3 rows and 4 columns. So first row, 8, -2, 5, 6. Second row, -1, 3, -3, 6. And third row, 7, -8, 1, 4. So let's write down that a matrix is named using an uppercase letter. So this whole thing in the brackets is a matrix. Now, each value inside is called an element. Each value inside is called an element. So the way we name elements is we first go by the row and then the column. So for example, right here, -1 is going to be element, and we use a lowercase letter. So A, because it's matrix A, and then it's in the second row in the first column. So say A is the element, and then we've got down here is the row, second number, column. Okay, so I don't know if we did -8. -8 is going to be A, because it's a subset of the matrix. The row is 3, the column is 2. So similar how we go row first, then column, that's also how we can describe the matrix. A matrix can be described using its dimensions. So matrix A is a rows first, 1, 2, 3 by 4 matrix. So remember, row first, then how many columns? Alright, so let's do a quick example. You're going to have these in your homework tonight. So given an example, here's a matrix 4, 9, negative 18, negative 2, 11, 3. In fact, you could even pause the video and do these two on your own. So first I want you to state the dimensions of A. Capital A. And then the second thing I'd like you to do is find the value of element A13. So why don't you pause the video and give it a try. So hopefully you're looking and you're like, okay, there are 2 rows, three columns, so this is going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. Now for find the value of a 1, 3, 1 is the row. So we're looking in the first row, and then 3, remember, is the column. So column 3. So that means that A sub 13, 1, 3 is equal to 1, 3. That's going to be negative 18. And that's it. Now I want to talk about adding and subtracting matrices. Okay. So when we're adding and subtracting, matrices can be added or subtracted if and only if this is important, they have the same dimensions. So you can only add a 2 by 3 with a 2 by 3, or a 1 by 4 plus a 1 by 4. So let's do an example. So for this example, I'm going to give you 3 matrices. Matrix A is going to be 8, 3, negative 5, 14. Matrix B is going to be 12, negative 7, 6, negative 23. And then matrix C is 2 by 9. Okay, not 2 by 9, sorry, 2, 9. So for the first one, let's do A plus B. Now what that looks like, first of all, you're going to write it out with the matrices. So let's rewrite 8, 3, negative 5, 14 plus B. which is 12, negative 7, 6, negative 23. And what we do is we add each of the elements together. So element 1, 1 plus element 1, 1. So the first number up here is what is 8 plus 12. So that is 20. Element 1, 2 is going to be 3 plus negative 7, which is negative 4. Negative 5 plus 6 is 1. And 14 plus negative 23 is negative 9. So you're just finding the sum of each of those things. Do a little color coding. Hopefully that makes sense. And for subtracting, it's exactly the same. So for our next problem, why don't you try to pause the video and do it yourself, and why don't you do a minus b? So we're going to set it up the same way, and the order does matter. So we're going to have a, which is 8, 3, negative 5, 14, minus 12, negative 7, 6, 23. And now we're going to just subtract. So first, 8 minus 12, which is negative 4. 3 minus negative 7. So it's 3 plus 7, sorry, brain fart. Negative 5 minus 6 is going to be negative 11. And 14 minus 23, negative 9. So what if I gave you probably could see this coming, b minus c. So b is 12, negative 7, 6, 23. Oops, I wrote it down wrong here. Well, I'll fix it in a sec. Negative 23. And then let's subtract c, which is 2 and 9. And we run into an issue, right? There isn't something for us to subtract for every single element. And so since the dimensions are the same, this is just undefined. I'm going to go back and fix that. Sorry, wrote it down wrong. So 14 minus negative 23. So that would be positive 37. Okay, so that's it. We've got one more thing super fast, and I'm not even going to do it. You try. It's just called scalar multiplication. And essentially what scalar multiplication is just taking one number, like negative 4, and multiplying it by a matrix. It's kind of like distributing. So we're going to take this negative 4 and we're going to multiply it by everything inside the matrix, and it's still going to end up being a 2 by 2 matrix. Sorry, a 3 by 2 matrix. So negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 4 times negative 9. Negative 4 times 7. Negative 4 times 3. Negative 4 times negative 11. Positive. And negative 4 times 4. And that's it. So scalar multiplication is pretty straightforward. Hopefully that all makes sense. Work on your homework, and then if you have questions, please come to Flex Time.